Is up, everybody? This is Night Shift, and I'm here with the Season 1 finale of my UMASS Dynasty. And as you can see, we went 10-3, 5-3 in the conference. We didn't win the conference, but we did win our bowl game, which means that we ended our season at 34 in the polls, which is pretty good for starting 112. So, alright, now I'm going to advance the week, and I'm going to show you here. We are being offered a contract extension. So we are going to go over it and see if there's good stuff in here that we can do easily, which all this stuff is pretty simple. And win 4 games, beat a rival, win 6 games, win 25% of games, win 50%. All that stuff's real easy. So I'm actually going to accept that. So now we have 2 more years to go, and we're going to be moving on. Alright, so now we're going to go to players leaving. Let's make sure we got no transfers, which we do not. And we're going to say goodbye to all of the important guys from last year. Basically, this is like everybody that we used. All my starters gone. But the good news is we got a good recruiting class, so we're going to be able to replace all these guys and have an even better season next year. Alright, so now we're going to advance to the next stage, which is transfer and draft results. And as you can see, we did not have anybody drafted. And now I'm going to go down to the transfer requests. And I have 2 requests, both 71 overall guys. We got an offensive lineman, which is always good, and a wide receiver who looks like he might just be alright. He's got good acceleration, and by the time he's able to play, he'll be over 90 speed. So we're going to let them join our team. And now we're going to do week 1. And if you guys remember right, I had 7 scholarships, but now I'm only down to 5, which means I need to cut 2 of these guys off of the those scholarships, and I want to pick which 2. So I think I'm going to check out everybody's speed real quick, see who's got the best potential to help me out in the long run, and I'm going to cut 2 of these guys. And this guy's got the slowest speed, so he's only a 61. Let's cut him and go back down to the bottom and cut this guy. And now we're all set. We got five guys now, because 2 of the transfers take up 2 of your scholarships. So you got to remember that when you're doing your own. And now all I'm going to do is have everybody visit week 1 and use the time on everybody, and they're all basically ready to sign. So that's how we do that. And now we're going to skip ahead to week 2. And as you can see, I only have 1 scholarship left. And Alan's the only guy that didn't sign, and he's soft committed. So I'm just going to quick call him real quick, move ahead, show you that he signed, and skip ahead to signing day. And look at the class that we got. We end up with the number 63 class, which that's based on stars. We got 13, 7, and 3. But as you guys know, if you've been watching, my 1-star guys actually turned out pretty good. And you'll also notice that I didn't fill all my position needs. That's something that we're going to do right now in position changes. And this quite possibly is the most important thing that you could do to make your team better. So pay attention to certain things that I do, because there's certain attributes that some guys have that make them better at one position than another, and also make them more useful when you have gameplay. Obviously with the quarterback there's nothing really to look at, but as you can see, Broadnax looked real good. And now we're going to be here at wide receiver, and I have a ton of wide receivers. And there's a couple of guys that are going to get cut, like those guys at the bottom. I don't have to worry about those, but I want to make sure that I wanted to make somebody a running back. And if you go to carry, as you can see, the carry is 92 per day. So now let's go back and check out his speed. It's 89, 6.74. It's not terrible. But as you can see, when I put him at running back, he becomes a 67, which is pretty good. I think that makes him my second best running back right now. And remember this guy? I knew he was going to be a good running back, and he actually goes plus 12. So there's that. Now we're going to keep some wide receivers around because we're going to need some wide receivers. We can't use that guy yet, but Watts looks pretty good. And Michael is not a better wide receiver, or not a better running back, I'm sorry. Downing would go plus 1, but I think I'm going to keep him around because he's going to be like the number 3 wideout. And Davis, and change his position up. And now we need a fullback, so we're going to go to tight end to look for some fullbacks. Now, Barrett looks really good, so we're going to move Howard, Fossell. He's only going to lose 2 points. Let's move him over. 59 is not terrible, plus he's going to get better. And now let's get some speedier guys in at tight end, just in case I need to get some mismatches going. So let's see who we're going to take. I think I'd like Petty. Even though he's going to be a 41, he's only going to be in there for the mismatch. It makes it easier for me to put him in there. And now let's use, how about Allen? He's only a 59, not a big deal. So we're going to put him in there, use them, just in case we need a mismatch at tight end. They're going to be too fast for any linebackers to cover. I'm not going to use them to block in any way, though. As you can see, now I've filled a couple of positions. And now let's check out the offensive line. This is as important as anything that you do during the position changes. So as you can see, I have no left guard. He's a 45 overall. So we're going to move this left tackle over. And that'll at least give me a 63. And we got a couple of 61s, and this is where all the guys went for right tackle. And I got a bunch of 60 overall and 70 overall guys, so we're going to move these guys around and see what happens. We got a senior here. Let's put him at center. He's going to get better. Now we got 3 freshmen to figure out what to do with. See, the senior is going to be a 69 and he's going to get better. So we're going to need another center for next year. So let's move that guy. And now at right guard we have a 61. So let's move our best guy over to right guard, because I usually like to have my right guard pull a lot, and that's very important. So I like having a good right guard because I like to run left with the left guard, or with the right guard pulling. So that's going to work out. Plus we have the transfer, so can't use him this year, but we still have Miller, who's in 69 overall. And get some depth, move him around. And now we are set up with a 69, a 69, a 69, and a 63, but he's got decent enough speed, and a 68. So we're looking decent enough to be able to get through the season. And now you'll notice we have to get some speed on that defensive line, because that's just not going to cut it. And we're a little messed up at D-tackle as well. So let's take Hilliard, who's never going to play as a linebacker. He gets a little bit better. He's going to be a 61 at defensive end. So we'll move him over. Brandt, never going to play. So let's put him in at D-tackle. And let's see, who else? Who else can help me? Doesn't look like any of them. Alright, now you'll see that Ivy and Johnson turned out to be pretty decent compared to what I have. and none of my corners can really play linebacker. But this is where things get interesting. Here's Wilson. He's my favorite, and I'm going to leave him in there. St. Bill not looking too good at linebacker right now, so we're going to keep him for the moment. Let's move Carter to linebacker. He's at least in the 60s. And Kaminoff, never going to play as a 55. So, let's move. Am I going to move him? I got to figure out which one I want to move over. I want to move St. Bill over. He'll be a 70 and he'll get better. And Wilson's going to be around for a little while at free safety, so that's what I'm going to do. Alright, and now we have 3 of them. Kaminoff is really never going to play, and Jet just doesn't have it when he moves over, so he actually gets he's pretty good off the edge right there, so let's use Kaminoff as a D tackle. He's a 61 overall, and that's not too bad. At least he's in the 60s. He got better. So now I think I'm a little short on safeties, but linebackers, we got Carter, who's in the 60s. We got Harrison, looking good. Terrell, looking good. And now we got some B tackles that can do something, but there's something missing. Let's try Delaire. He can't get to nobody off the edge. So let's move Potvin over to right end. And let's move Delaire over to D tackle. He gets a little bit better. And now he's my best D tackle. And they're looking a lot better now. I got a couple of 60s. And as long as the guys are in the 60s, they're not really too bad. And a couple of them are going to get over 70, which is good. So now I need a couple more safeties. So let's move these guys over to safety, because they're a little bit slower, not really going to be able to play corner. And, well, this guy's just, like, asking to be cut. He's just not very good at all. Alright, so we also want to keep the corners, not have a lot of them, because we want to be able to recruit some during next year. And if you don't have a lot, then playing time goes up. Alright, so we're going to try to find one last place for Ward to play. Or am I? I think I am. Move him to linebacker, even though he gets worse, because he's just going to be more useful there. And now we are all set with all the position changes. So we're gonna keep all those. And just so you guys can see, I have not purchased this, so my guys are not going to get max. They're getting training based on my coach prestige. So there's no cheating going on. Alright, and now, we have an 80 overall punter. Woohoo. Don't like to punt anyway. Alright, so Pagel got over 70. Broadnecks, he looks like a monster. He's got 90 speed, 93 excel. Looking real good. Alright, we got our fullback got over 60. And Michael got over 70. Dowling's a 65. Both got faster, which is good. And things are looking decent at wide receiver. Blanchflower, he's going to be a monster. He's going to be a monster this year. And for the guards, this guy went +5, which is pretty good. We needed that. Dima +5 also, so we got a pretty good center. Probably going to be the best offensive lineman we got. And that's the transfer we can't use, but he looks like he's going to be a monster next year. Or, well, not next year, but in 2 years. Well, we can use him again. Billiard only went +3, but he got faster. He's got great excel, so he's gonna be a threat off the edge. Podman. And check out the layer. He got +5. And I think I'm going to use Kamenov over Clemens. I'll decide that later. And just so you guys can see, Carter went +3. And at corner, we got Tharp got much better. He's over 70. And Smith also. And we're not worried about that at free safety. And Sinkville went +5, so he's a 75. Basically, the best defensive player I got. So, now that you guys have seen how we're looking, we only have a limited number of guys that are over 70. So, that is the plan for the beginning. Alright, so we're going to advance to the next stage, which is the cutting of players. And we have to cut 6 guys. And I know some guys that we're going to cut right off the bat. And it's these quarterbacks that we don't need because, well, they're not very good. And their home state is not helping us out in the pipeline ability. So, when you look at guys like Wilson and Davis, I'm not cutting them because they're from Florida and I want to keep Florida guys. And check this out, we got Sharp, who's from New Jersey, and Beck, who's also from New Jersey, so we don't need them. But I'm not going to cut Mills, even though he has 79 speed, he'll never play, because I need a guy from Florida. So we're going to keep him around. And we got to find 2 more guys to cut. And I think this guy is perfect to cut. And we need 1 more guy. Who's it gonna be? This guy does not look very good. Nope. And let's make it... Oh, there you go. Major. Senior, Connecticut, 54 overall, 46 speed. You gotta go. Alright. Now we have cut the roster down to size, and we are ready to move on. And just so you guys can see, I did not change anything as far as the bowls and stuff. So that's going to be it for this video. So now we are ready to start our preseason for 2013. So tune in next time for the premiere episode of Season 2 of the UMASS Dynasty. Peace, guys.